Basically, the data segmentation. So data segmentation. So what does it mean? So let's say if we have a lot of records in a particular data extension, so based upon certain criteria, we only want certain records to be extracted out. So this is basically called as a data segmentation. So it is done based upon the requirements of the business unit, based upon the client proposals. So it can be the data segment can be done in two ways. One is through filter and other is by writing SQL query. So filter option is the direct one where when we open the email studio under it, we can by opening any email, we can see a funnel shape top right corner. So by pressing it, we can by applying any formula, we can implement the filter such that data segmentation can be happening. So other thing is by writing the SQL query. So basically what are the advantages of SQL query? So basically it allows you to deploy any segmentation scenario we want to when we want with a complete control over the output columns, names and values. So in practical sense, SQL query is preferred over the filter option rather than using the filter option. But also SFMC, the SQL in the SFMC also possess some limitations. So when we see it basically uses the server 2.6. So it only supports the select statement. Neither it don't support the insert statement, update statement, delete statement, unlike in the normal SQL. And the SQL can be implemented only in the data extension, not lists. And the third thing is auto kill. So let's say when we are implementing any big, so when we are implementing any thousands of record data, so when we write SQL query for data segmentation from it, so if it takes more than 30 minutes to process or it takes more than 30 minutes for the execution, then the whole process will be shut off because of the SFMC. That is how SFMC was designed. So it is called as an auto kill. So what does auto kill means? It will automatically stop your query if the execution time exceeds more than 30 minutes limit. So this is generally the limitations of SQL. So, but in practical sense, as I told earlier, a simple SQL query writing, keeping in mind the future circumstances, is a preferable or a good practice rather than using the filter. And also there is a difference, there is also a major difference between the filtering and SQL activity. So whenever we are applying filter, we'll be get all columns. We'll be getting the all columns from source DE, from source data extension to destination data extension. But whereas in writing SQL query, we can import from source to destination data extension only the fields we require, only the fields we wanted. I mean, for let's say the source data extension may consist of let's say 10 fields, 10 fields. So source data extension may consist of 10 fields. Like for example, if we consider the student, let's say in a college, there may be student name, student mark, student address, student contact number, student first name, student last name, student parents name. So like that, there are 10 columns. But the source DE, but the destination DE, like let's say it is just about the mark sheet. So it only contains maybe few, maybe the first name, last name, marks of the student, and roll number of the student. So only let's say only four fields of a student record are sufficient here in this destination DE. So we'll import from the source DE only these four. So the processing will be fast and quick as well as the execution I mean, there, so the execution will be quick so that the uh, CRM will be strong with the client. So, so in this session, we'll be talking about these different kind of SQLs. So these are different keywords that will be used helpful in writing the SQL queries. So let's see one after one. Okay. Firstly, the select statement. So so the fundamental thing will be like this: select. So we'll be giving some field names, various field names, which are so as I said earlier, these are the field names which we want import from source to destination data extension. So field names from we will be giving the name of source data extension. So simply understand here. So we are selecting the fields from the source data extension. So this is basically the fundamental syntax. So this is what it is saying. So select. So it opens every query. So every SQL will be consisting of for sure this select keyword. So it picks the columns from the source data extension. So if we don't want to represent the every field name. So in the earlier example, if we want, let's say all the 10 records from the source student data extension to destination data extension. So then we can simply represent it as R. So it will be like this: select star from source data extension. Source data extension, let it be student D. Let's say the name of it. So this is how the syntax will be. Next. So select so so this is the first case. So this is the first case. And let the second case is in this form. So select student ID, select student name, select contact ID. These three are the only attributes which I am selecting from the student data extension. And there is the this is the third case. So student ID, student underscore name, contact ID. So why I am using this square brackets here? So understand it. So if the name consists of anything like spaces, so any special symbols like this is how it is. So then the best practice is you mention the field name in between the square bracket so that there will be no confusion while validating it. And the third, so next, the fourth method is select underscore something data view. So there are different kind of data views like sent data view, like open data view, like click data view, like job data view. So there are multiple. So whenever you are using the data views, so it is the method that we should be writing underscore before it. So select underscore sent or select underscore open or select underscore click. So in this way. And next in select only there is one concept called aliasing. So if I don't want to write the student name every time, so select student name, right? This is how the normal select. I don't want to write every time the student name wherever I have to use in the further SQL query. So simply mention it as select student name as just name I will write, or simply you can write just n, whatever you prefer. So it is aliasing. So whenever you are writing name in any further SQL query, it understand that it means as student name. So also there is a function to get a date. Let's say get UTC date. So this is the function which I want to use. So instead of using it every time in the further SQL query, so use it simple as date. So whenever I write date in the future SQL query, it by default consider that what I mean is get UTC date. So it understand the compiler will be understanding it automatically. Yeah. So next, another concept is the select is top. So I want to randomly. So let's say the destination DE should not consist of all the records that are present in the source data extension. I want only a specific. So we can just mention it as a top. So if top and some number. So only top. So let's say the source data extension may consist of 100 records of student. But while writing the top 10, only the only the top 10 results of the 100 source data extension will be considered. So we can also write it as percentage, like top 10% also we can write. So there are a number of ways. If I want only 50, top 50%, I just write top 50%. And also note that this SQL is basically a case insensitive. Means we can write capital letters or small letters, anything is fine. So here you can see select the top 10 student name marks. So this will be considered in the destination data extension. So select the top 10%. So whatever it might be. Next, top with order by. So let's say, okay, I have selected out of 100 records, 10 records I have selected. Okay, it is fine. So how, so after selecting, it might be at a random. So the top 10 may be random. So if I want them to be ordered, we can use the keyword order space by. So whenever we use it, so it will be arranged in a particular sorting fashion. So if we want sorting in ascending order, we will be writing ASC or DSC. So let us simply write. So select, let's say top 10 student name, comma marks. So let's say this is how the first statement. So next I want to order. So order by, let's say marks. So by the field of marks, the destination data extension will be categorized. Okay, that is fine. So if I want it to be in the ascending order, just I will add ASC. Neither if in other case, if I want it in the descending order, we will write DESC. That's it. So now all the marks will be arranged in the ascending or descending fashion. Next, top with price. Let's say if there are, so here we are saying only 10 percentage, so top 10 means only 10 records, only 10 only records will be present. Let's say if there are people who got the same marks but they may not be included in it, so in that case we will be adding the top with price. So whenever we add top with price, we may get more than 10 records if there are the student with same marks. Next keyword is distinct. So it is basically a deduplication tool. So select a distinct top 10 percentage. Means only 10 percentage of the 10 percentage of the records of the source data extension will be selected, who are all having the distinct values or distinct values in that particular field. Example, in this case it's marks. So this is all about the select. So now we have finished the select. So now we will be moving to from. Yeah, so this is from. So as I told earlier, select up to now what we have learned is select. Selecting, what it means is selecting the fields of selecting the fields of source data extension. So here we will be using the from to mention what is the source data extension. So select. So let's say student name, student ID, student ID from, what is the source data extension? We have created one source data extension, right? It might be of any name. Let's say students. So let's say Cambridge students. Cambridge students. from Cambridge students. So select student name, student ID from Cambridge students. So here Cambridge students is the data extension which we have created already. So there we are selecting the student name and student ID fields. See here from select name, email address from master subscriber data extension. So if we here the D we created is master subscriber data extension. Next. So it is common. Like I said earlier, if we are using any data views, we need to use this symbol underscore symbol before it. It's must wherever it might be. Next, from ent dot shared DE. So let's say if there are two DEs. So if there is a particular DE which is shared between a business units. So this is the parent business unit, and under it there will be a child business unit. So whenever we are writing any query with respect to this business unit of parent, there is no need to use ent dot. Whenever we are writing a query related to the business unit of the child, so while doing it, so we need to add ent before the data extension, which before the data extension. If the data extension here is data view, then we need to add underscore symbol before it. So here as we are using the subscribers, which is a data view, so we are using underscore. So otherwise we can use something like that ent dot Cambridge data extension. So simply anything. Next. So this is about the from. Next coming to where. So where is used to mention the condition. So simply understand in this way. So let's say there are the students. There is a student name, let's say, and student marks. So student marks and student name is there. I want, so this is the source data extension. Let's say let us consider it as a source data extension. Now I want the destination DE to have only the students who got more than 50 marks. So then the same query we will be writing. So what is the query we will be writing here is, so select student name. So I'm writing in short form. Student name, student marks from source DE. Let it be Cambridge. Let it be Cambridge University. What it might be. So Cambridge University. Next. So we have written select statement. We have written the from statement. Here Cambridge University is source data extension. So what if we want a condition? So if we want to mention condition, then we will be writing where student marks are greater than 50. So then the source data extension will consist of the student records of only the one who got more than 50 marks. So let's see here. So select subscriber key. So this is another kind of program. Select subscriber key, email address. So here instead of student marks, we are considering the data extension which is about the subscribers. So we are selecting here subscriber key and email address from the subscribers data view. So how I can say this is the data view, because we are adding, there is a symbol underscore before it. Okay, then where status is not unsubscribed. So it is talking that in subscribers there will be a lot of fields. One of the field is status. So here we are giving conditions. We are telling the condition that status should not be unsubscribed. So what does it mean? The destination data extension will consist of all the records only, I mean, all the records of only the condition who satisfied that they should be subscribed. Only the subscribed customers will data will be present in the destination DE. The source DE may have both subscriber and unsubscriber, but the data extension of destination will consist of only subscriber. So this is the first scenario. So second scenario. So if I want the status, so let's say if the data, so destination data extension So destination data extension, I want the condition to pose is the subscriber status should be held, or it should be unsubscribed, or it should be bounced. Only those records should be present in the data destination data extension. So instead of writing, so we can write also it here. So generally how we write, so where status is equal to held, or status is equal to unsubscribe, or status is equal to bounce. Instead of writing all those things, so we can simply write as in function. So by using in function, whatever we write inside it, it will be considered as R. So this is one of the beauty of in function, using in function. Okay, so up to now what we have learned is, so select we have finished from, we have finished where. So the first has been completed. So in the next video, we'll be talking about the join, different type of joins we'll be talking.